it's energy or lack of confidence, because when you're not playing with confidence, I think it can drain you a little bit. But the bottom line is, right now we don't have a post game, and that's something that we've always had at Tennessee. Even in my first year, we found a way to get somebody that could score around the rim, and we don't have that right now consistently. And so much is being put back again on the freshmen, where it shouldn't be that way. We need B.J. Bailey, we need Josiah James, we need Santiago, we need those three guys playing at a high, and John Fulkerson playing at the level that they're capable of. And we haven't got all 7, 8 guys doing that in a couple of weeks.
David Pascal, Mike Wilson, and Grant Ramey.
Rick, I know you're just off this game, but now you've got the uniqueness of the schedule where you don't play until next Sunday, and then the SEC tournament's off of that. How much of an adjustment is that going to be? I know you'd like to play a lot and learn from playing, but this is obviously a big gap. How can you put that to good use?
Well, we're going to have to. We're going to have to get back and see if we can just, again, it's really hard to talk about competitive fire when you don't feel like your whole team is bringing it. And I didn't think that today, which is as we've talked more about that as much as anything of any team that we've coached since we've been in Tennessee. And I don't understand the inconsistencies, because there's enough guys that played enough basketball right now. But this week we've got to go back and take a good hard look, all of us, everybody in the program, like, what can I do on my part to make this program what it should be, what we expect from it, and see what we can use this week to get better.
Rick, how frustrating was the first half with turnovers and allowing so many offensive rebounds, and then the free throw discrepancy? How do you try to get your guys to get to the line more, especially post players?
Well, you got to be aggressive to do that. And obviously, first, you just said the game plan: get back, rebound the ball. And we talked about it. We had rebounds at times. We got stripped with it. And the fact of the matter is, you can get fouled in the post if you work hard and try to fight for your space on the court, as opposed to just letting people shove you around. And then you get the ball. I think John had 4 turnovers today. He shouldn't be turning the ball over 4 times. He should. And Josiah had a bad turnover. It's the bad turnovers you got to eliminate. But I go back to that being locked in, understanding that every possession matters, and competing like every possession matters on both ends. Not when you're making shots and feeling good, but when things aren't going well, can you continue to compete and put yourself in position? I think it was great. I told Keon there when he came down that last 3, that's where, again, we talked to him a lot about it. That's where he should have gone to the rim, and we could have made it a 1-possession game right there. But you could just go back, little things that the freshmen are being put in some positions that honestly they shouldn't have to be. If our older, more experienced guys would do more, just do a little bit more, not a whole lot, just a little bit more, and not put so much pressure on those guys to feel like they have to do everything.
Rick, where's the disconnect between you and your staff and these players in terms of talking about stuff over and over and still not being able to execute it at this point?
Well, you know what? I think that confidence has something to do with that. I think that fear has something to do with it. I think there's some guys that are looking around that had high expectations of themselves and thinking, hey, it's not going the way that I wanted it to go, and they're not totally locked in. And now understanding that some roles have changed. The way we thought we would be playing early in the year, we're not playing that way now because of production. So the disconnect is where guys are able to get out of their own way and listen to what's going on in the game and understand that they have a role to play. If we would just simply do that, get guys to play their role the way they should play it, we would be okay. If we could just do that. The guys that are supposed to, make plays, take care of the ball, take care of it. The guys that should be turning the ball over at an alarming rate, they should be doing it. And so you ask the question, why are they doing it? And as much time as we spend talking about it, at some point in time, you got to stop talking about it. It just gets down to, again, a competitive spirit and a competitive fire.
Gustavo, Joe Rexroad, and Ryan Shumper.
Coach, with 23 games that you guys already played this season, 1 game left, is this team performance the way you expected, looking back to November? I know the season is unique, but is this team performing right now the way you expect and you vision comparing to the beginning of the season?
Absolutely not, because the fact is I expect our team to get better and better and better as we go on. I expect mistakes to come down, down, down. if you got a problem rebounding the ball, I would expect that to be fixed in terms of what we do to try to fix it. But again, when the lights come on, you got to go do it, plain and simple. And the fact that we're not correct what, really and truly what Grant said, what we're not fixing are the things we keep talking about. And maybe we don't have the ability to do it. I don't know. You start asking that question, what do we have to do? Do we have to make changes going forward in our program to do things? Because we got to be able to rebound the ball better than we have up to this point. It's plain and simple. And we got to take care of the ball better. That's just plain and simple. You do those two things, again, more aggressive, get to the guy. Again, the fouls, second half, we again, fouling. They were putting their head down, driving the ball, picking on certain guys. And we didn't, we had breakdowns on the defensive end. And and we leave the timeout. We make everybody repeat back what we're in. They say it, then they go out and they don't execute it. That's, again, part of, to me, the competitive spirit. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. If you're supposed to switch on the ball screen, you do it. And if you don't, you're not locked in. And your mind is, what are you thinking about? Where are you? And we've got way too much of that.
Yeah, Rick, I think I might be asking about that, what you're talking about there. I wanted to ask about the possession up or down 6. You went big again. You went with Fulkerson and Pons. Is that the ball screen you're talking about with Keon and Fulkerson in the ball screen? And then it looked like maybe Pons was supposed to tag there, but didn't get there. What exactly broke down on that play?
Keon didn't switch. That was Keon's play.
So after the ball screen, that wasn't the issue. It was just purely not switching.
Not switching, yes.
And real quick, Rick, you talk about needing more post play, and like you said, the freshmen have a lot on them. Is it too much to think that Keon could be maybe somewhat more of a post presence in some sets?
Yeah, and I can assure you we're going to work on that some more because we've given these other guys enough time to do it, and we've got some things. But to ask him to do that, maybe this week will give us a chance to do some of that.
Talked about it just a second ago a little bit, but how do you assess the defense in the second half?
Well, a couple guys I thought, Keon, that breakdown was a breakdown, but it's not that. It's still the one-on-one defense. I thought VJ was non-effective at all on the defensive end. He was getting blown by. I thought Santi tried to battle and do some things there, but overall, again, obviously we were fouling. We didn't play like Flanagan. Everybody knows he wants to go left. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. They know it. And again, to keep letting him get to a strong hand, that's just not being locked in on the scout report. And that goes back to 2 words: mental toughness, competitive spirit, competitive fire. You name it. That's what that gets back to.
Finish up with Rob Lewis.
Coach, just how hard does it make your job and your staff when it does look like the most mentally tough guys on your team are freshmen and not upperclassmen?
Oh, it's the hardest thing you do. You're talking about when you see your team and you don't think it's one of the hardest things in coaches to accept, period. It's just hard to accept. And does it make you feel good? It almost makes you sick on your stomach.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
All right, we'll raise hands for Keon Johnson. We'll start with David Pascal and Grant Rainey.